alcohol 3 times. Rodriguez has been ordered to report to jail on Christmas Eve.
We know the UAW struck General Motors for 2 days. They struck Chrysler for just a few hours, and now Ford is hoping not to see 1 second of picketing as their talks get underway with the union.
Yeah, but it may be easier said than done, especially according to an article in this morning's Detroit Free Press.
Yeah, the headline deals 1 to go, and that 1 could be a troublesome one. Sarah Webster joining us live right now. Sarah covers the Ford beat for the Free Press, and you're hearing that there's already some rifts developing in these talks. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning. That's correct. We're hearing that job security has already become a sticking point and that the union hasn't even heard which plants Ford wants to close under its way forward turnaround plan. So there's a lot of road to go with them right now.
Now, Ford's in a very delicate situation right now because they've seen so much loss. Talk about their relationship with the UAW, because historically they've had a pretty good relationship, right?
Yeah, my source told me that Ford has always been the better company to deal with. You know, the UAW prefers dealing with Ford over General Motors and Chrysler, but he said that doesn't matter. You know, if push comes to shove and they don't start getting closer together on a deal, that they'll walk out on the strike just the same as whether it was GM or Chrysler.
Well, and they might not like what they hear, because we know when they initially announced the Way Forward plan, then there was Way Forward 2, and we've kind of been waiting for the other shoe to drop, because we kept hearing that there were other plants that were going to be closed that weren't announced in the second phase. So either way, it sounds like we're going to see some closings here, and that's not going to sit well when job security is a top priority for the union.
Well, Ford said that they are going to close 16 plants under the Way Forward, and so far they've only named 10. So we're still waiting to hear who the other 6 are. And on top of that, some people have been saying that Ford might have to even go a little deeper than that given their sales performance. Now, Ford has been saying that they don't have to, but when you say people are waiting for the other shoe to drop, that's true. People are kind of waiting to see if 16 is going to be it.
Do we know, does Ford have the cash to contribute to this VIBA that the other company did?
Well, some analysts think that Ford is actually in a better position to contribute cash to a VIBA, given the fact that, you know, they have, I think it's over $34 billion in cash on hand. And they also, in addition to getting all that money in that recent financing deal, they're in the process of selling Land Rover and Jaguar. So we're expecting them to raise some cash with that sale, which they have said they expect to close sometime early next year.
All right.
All right. Sarah Webster, Detroit Free Press, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us a little insight on what's to come with Ford.
You have a good morning, Sarah.
You too.
All new this morning, not all mid-size SUVs are created equal when it comes to protecting passengers in a side impact crash. This is according to a new crash test from the Insurance for Highway Safety. The following SUVs received marginal ratings in side crash tests: the 2008 Chevy Trailblazer, and Jeep Grand Cherokee, Nissan Pathfinder, and Nissan Xterra, all of them without optional side airbags. The Toyota 4Runner, Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Xterra received an acceptable rating when they had those standard side airbags standard.
The first problem were weak side structures, so the side was just driven into the area where the occupants are riding. The second problem was lack of inflatable protection for the driver's chest. A crash like this would have caused rib fractures and internal organ injuries for the driver.
In frontal impacts, all vehicles tested earned good ratings, except for the Trailblazer, which still received an acceptable grade. All new this morning, a healthcare scam that's costing Macomb County taxpayers.
And here's what happened. A former employee fired after just 4 days on the job continued to use taxpayer-funded health insurance for 8 years after she was let go. This $230,000.
That's a big bill for taxpayers, and the woman who now lives in Alabama used that insurance to pay for treatment of ovarian cancer, multiple sclerosis, and spinal problems. County commissioners are now holding a special meeting tomorrow and Monday at the county building to figure out how that happened. A major healthcare company is packing its bags and leaving Metro Detroit. Arcadia Healthcare said it will relocate its headquarters from Southfield to Indianapolis. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation offered the company up to $6 million in tax credits for its plan to create jobs down in Indianapolis, the city also offered Arcadia property tax abatements too. As you're waking up, new information about a measles scare in Washtenaw County. We've learned there are at least